Bringing the best of pop culture to downtown Chicago April 24th through 26th, C2E2's show floor is packed with hundreds of exhibitors, panels, autographing, guests from shows such as Arrow, Doctor Who, Sleepy Hollow, and The Vampire Diaries, plus the legendary Stan Lee. Their screenings give fans the chance at sneak peeks of film and TV before they hit the big screen. Join us for the best weekend of the year. For more info, head to c2e2.com or planetarbitrary.com.
Come bust a move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's play on!
Hey, listen!
I'm Commander Shepard.
Let's do this.
I think we're just getting started. I think there's some school children down the way you can go and prank.
Hello, and again.
Get over here!
Welcome, everybody, to episode 64 of the Play On podcast on planetarbitrary.com. I am your host, Pat B. of Pat's Retro Video Game Reviews on planetarbitrary.com. And back with us tonight,
We're back.
Anthony.
Guess who's back?
Anthony and Annie are back.
It's us.
How you doing, guys?
Hello.
So good.
Shalom.
Yeah. Missed you last episode.
So sorry
We
couldn't
missed
be
being
here.
with you.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, it was okay. I got to record with Joseph from Game Classy.
Joseph.
Yeah, it was fun recording with Joe. For those of you that listened to the last episode number 63, if you listen, this is a little bit of Play On trivia for you. Not even trivia, just fun tidbit, production tidbit.
Behind the scenes
stuff. If you turn up that podcast real loud and listen closely with earphones, you will hear Joe's fish tank running the entire time. So if you felt like you had to urinate the entire show...
That's why.
That was the soothed sound of a tiny waterfall.
Yeah, it was subliminal urination messages. So... But yeah, we're back in the Play On studio. We were in the Planet Arbitrary studio last week, or 2 weeks ago. Now we're in the Play On studio this week.
We were in the Game Classy studio.
Yeah, the Game Classy studio.
I was really upset I wasn't on last week's episode because when I listened to it, I just could not believe my ears on how much you did not like Dying Light. And I just wanted to break up.
Yeah, you know, that game, I had very high I still think it's a fun game. It's fun to play.
It has a whole new butthole after what you gave it.
It's just when my expectations were so high, and I started playing it, and it kept getting knocked down a peg. Like I kept playing, I was like, really? And then I'd play a little bit more. I'm like, really?
When in Rome, each their own. Whatever the saying is.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I guess so. It's I've played it a little bit since then. And I've kind of moved off because I got the Atari XEGS functioning properly.
Oh, okay.
So I got my cable from eBay.
Good.
And it works like a charm. So I've kind of moved over and
switched, yeah.
Messing around with that system. But yeah, Dying Light's fun. I mean, it's absolutely fun. It's just, I feel like it could have done so much more.
Well, and all I want to comment on it is, because I purchased it for the personal computer, and they just patched it this week, and the patch adds a hard mode difficulty.
Okay.
Some performance enhancements, new outfits, like a bunch of different stuff. But it was really cool because after you patched it and you launched into the game, there was like a 2-minute video from the developer, and he's just like, "Thank you for playing Dying Light and supporting us." And then they gave a sneak peek of footage that's never been shown anywhere, of footage of upcoming stuff, like where there's going to be vehicles you can drive around in, bow and arrows. So it was like a nice little touch. And I really liked Dying Light. Like I'm on my second playthrough. So it was like a cool little touch to see the developer thing pop up, be like, "Thanks for supporting us, and here's the patches." And they've been good with supporting that game on the computer.
Yeah, see, now that's cool. But see, that's the thing. If they had to patch it to add a difficulty mode.
Yeah, fair enough. I totally see where you're coming from.
I think it could have been, with the amount of zombies that they populated that city with, that quarantined area with, Haran, or the name of the city, it could have. I feel like if I was running in the streets, just out in the open, and the zombies could see me, I felt like I should have been mauled almost immediately, because the parkour system is fun. It's just, I don't feel any pressure to use it. Only when I'm like doing something out in the open where I'm clearly getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
When I should have been getting overwhelmed in the first place, and I need to run up the walls, then dangle back down, do something, then scurry back up the walls.
Wait till later in the game when you unlock parkour moves that are just it'll just blow your mind. Like you can launch yourself over a zombie as you're running. You'd like leapfrog him. That would drive you nuts.
Yeah, see, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I wish that
really
would have
cool.
just been a part of the,
it should have
of
been
the
like up
parkour
front.
movement. Yeah. But at the same time, I felt very scared. I mean, the game did a great job right off the bat, and it had me hooked. And I was like, the first time you go out on the street, when you have to go get some antizin, I was like, oh, here we go. And I was expecting to see 1 or 2 zombies. When I saw like 50, like right outside, I was like, what? Holy shit. I was like, what am I going to do now? I was like, I was trying to sneak around. And then when I just kind of made myself known, and they were all looking at me, nobody did anything.
That's how I felt too. I felt like, I was like, this is not a horror game. It's not scary. And it wasn't until night when I was like, and then all of a sudden it was like those weird things where you could see the outlines of their insides or whatever. When I was like, fuck, this is hard.
Yeah. Like, and nighttime, definitely, there was some added, there was some anxiety there because I was like, oh shit, like, as it's getting dark too, things start to get crazy.
Yeah.
And that's when I felt like, yeah, this is exciting, but at the same time, I was still able to evade and get away from things, and I was like, I wish I was just getting, like, what's the Will Smith movie?
Men in Black. Pitch.
Men in Black.
Legend. I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted those things.
Yeah. Oh, those fast things.
Yeah, the
Fuck
fast
those
zombie things,
Forget
vampire,
those.
whatever those things. That's what I wanted. That's what I want from my zombie game. I want those. Make an I Am Legend game. God damn it, people! Make those zombies.
You need to play Dead
Chased
Rising
is one of the
3.
scariest things
Yeah.
ever. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't go play laser tag with you guys.
Oh my god, you would have hated it.
Yeah.
We
Not
did-
to mention it was laser tag in a haunted house.
Yeah, fuck that.
in a haunted cathedral.
In a
Yeah,
basement.
no.
Well, in the
it's-
basement.
In the
All the
basement.
scariest things.
It was so awesome.
Yeah, we did play laser tag, and it was a lot of fun. Did I tell you about my injury I got from that?
No.
Twisted my ankle pretty bad.
When?
Rolled it right before the very last game. I was going down some stairs in the cathedral to go check
Yeah.
our scores after one of the rounds.
Yeah.
I just missed a step and stepped down
shit, I
funny
didn't
and,
know
and
that.
rolled my ankle.
Was it not that bad at the moment, but the next
Not
day?
at the moment. The next day it was pretty
Yeah.
stiff and sore, and yeah.
That sucks.
But I mean, I was able to
worst.
walk, so I was like, I didn't break anything.
That's-
But I am wearing my wristband to show
Support
support.
it.
Yeah, to support the
Did you
local
get
laser
the
tag.
email on the way home with all your stats?
Yeah, I looked it all up.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I was MVP one round.
You see, I
was
did not
able
get
to-
any MVPs.
No.
No, and I like James, Doug, and I were all comparing. I had the worst KD ratio. I had like 0.7 something, but I had a lot of I had more points than they did.
See, that's what matters, though. That means you were completing objectives
I think
during
it was
the laser
the
tag
one.
matches.
It was the domination match. That I think that
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, that was iCombat in Aurora, Illinois. That
was a lot of fun.
It was cool. The guns had CO2 cartridges loaded in them,
They're
so
like legit guns.
yeah, like they were real metal AR-15s, and when you would shoot, the guns would pop. But all you were doing was shooting lasers.
Oh, that sounds awful to me.
Lasers.
Blade.
Yeah.
Laser.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It
So
sounds awful. I'm glad you guys had a good time. It sounds horrible.
we were sweating pretty bad.
Oh my God.
I liked probably the best comment from the entire night. Our friend James Two Guns was with us, and James is he's a tall, larger guy. He's a bigger guy.
He's beefy.
He's a beefy guy.
He's probably
Real
listening to
solid.
this.
Yeah, he's just a
Solid.
big dude. And
beefcake.
when we're playing laser tag, we had these vests on, and then we had these AR-15s, stripped down AR-15s strapped around us. And after we started playing a couple of rounds, James, we were all sweating, because we were running, and the place is dark, and it wasn't very it's not like it's
and
air
James and I were
conditioned.
wearing black hooded sweatshirts.
Yeah.
because we
Sad
thought
choice.
tactical.
Yeah, exactly. So later on in the night while we're playing, Joe from Game Classy was with us. Sees James, he's like, "Look at James! He looks like a Chechen rebel, a separatist rebel."
Looks like he just got out of the shower. Like he was just drenched.
It was so James just in the ragged clothes. He's sweating. It looks like he's been in battle.
Anthony
seen
got
some
home and he's
shit.
like, "Hey, I'm just gonna take a shower." Like it wasn't even like,
Immediately.
"Oh, I'm gonna tell you all about it." It was like, I need to be in the shower right
It was
now.
bad.
Yeah, it was.
And I chugged down a milkshake on the way home too from Dairy Queen.
Yeah, we went to Dairy Queen. I got myself an Arctic Rush,
Nice.
a cherry one, and I got a new jacket. And so I took it off, and Joe's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm drinking a cherry drink. I don't want to spill it on my new jacket."
Yeah.
So I took it off while I was driving. So then I enjoyed my cherry drink, and Joe had a blizzard or something.
boy.
And about halfway home, Joe goes, "Oh, fuck." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "I just spilled a little bit of ice cream." And I'm like, "See, Joe," I was like, "You should have taken your jacket off." But it wasn't until we got to his car where I could drop him off that he saw the full extent of his ice cream spill. He's like, "God damn it. He spilled ice cream everywhere."
That's karma, bitch.
It was good. It was good. Got a good chuckle out of it. But video games.
Video games.
In 2 weeks, video games has gone haywire. So PAX happened.
As always.
GDC happened.
Yeah.
But I feel like, so we had video games 2 weeks ago where we were playing with controllers and we were happy with that. And that was
You gotta use your
the gold.
hands.
That was the golden standard. We were used to like sitting in front of the TV and playing a game. Video games done and got itself all virtual reality.
All VR.
All virtual reality. It's insane what is going on with virtual reality. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about all of the things that happened at the conventions that happened over the past couple of weeks, all of the virtual reality stuff. On top of that, NVIDIA had huge announcements, their own little presentation. They unveiled all new types of devices, streaming devices. Gaming has gotten pretty fucking real in the last 2 weeks.
It's getting exciting.
It's wild. On top of that, I show up here tonight, and I'm informed that there is a Kanye West video game.
The most important news of this podcast.
According to him.
According to me and him.
People.com.
But mostly him.
According to Yeezus.
It was never on people.com. I would have known about it a lot sooner.
You should submit it.
Yeah, you should.
I should.
Tip. They probably don't care. We don't
They probably
talk
don't.
about those stupid kid
Okay,
games.
so and it really like the fact that he's making this video game is solely just the tip of the iceberg.
This is a
okay?
real thing.
Okay, so I'm looking at geek.com. Okay, and I
Yes.
also saw it on Business Insider.
Oh,
and it was also in Time Magazine.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so
Oh,
it
well,
was
it's
at
important.
time.com. Okay.
3 different good sites.
So the premise of his video. So unfortunately, this is in all seriousness, his mother passed away in 2007. Okay. And he and Kim Kardashian have a daughter who's little, like 1 or 2, or real small.
Uh-huh.
So
I don't like where this is going already.
This is sad, huh?
So I'm not okay, so I am laughing. So so the game is he wrote a song called Only One, and the game is an adaptation of the single, okay? What you're supposed to do in the game is you have to get his mother through heaven. So the main character of the game is his dead mother.
This is a real thing. This is a real thing.
It looks like it. It looks like he... Okay, so in this article on geek.com from February 24th...
You're a terrible person for laughing. You're a horrible person.
No, you know
I
what?
was laughing at the fact that he's
Good.
making a video game.
You're a horrible person.
You know,
Really?
Good. Kanye West exploiting his dead mother to make...
See?
Where do the profits go to? Did they say, are the profits going to go to some...
Oh, no, it didn't say anything about
heaven.
profit.
Oh,
Heaven
yeah. I bet they're
Foundation.
not going to talk about where the money for that
It's
game's
going to
going
go
to go.
straight into his fucking pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, so so his direct quote. So Kanye West said, "The idea is that it's my mother going through gates of heaven."
So I imagine Flappy Bird, but with
You got to
Kanye's
bring-
mom instead of the bird.
You've got to bring her to the highest gate of heaven by holding her to the light.
I'm a horrible person.
I mean,
so good. I'm glad
I'm-
that you're the
I-
horrible person. I laugh because this is
Can't you see
Ridiculous.
the Flappy Bird?
So from-
It's like gates, and you're trying to like.
so from his... What was the name of the single?
only one.
Only One. So what? There's that single, and this is an adaptation of that single. So there's like 3 minutes and 12 seconds of gameplay
Yeah.
involved here with this game. I mean, did they say who's developing this game?
No.
Do you want to know why he's doing this?
They probably don't want to disclose.
But yeah, that's probably too embarrassing for them.
Jesus Christ.
Developed by Anonymous. No, I
Do you
don't
know
know.
one of the number 1 games on the iOS app store right now is the Kim Kardashian game?
Are you kidding
And so
me?
and she's making bank from it.
Yeah.
I
shit.
imagine
Is it-
Kanye
do
West
you-
was
do you-
probably super jealous about it.
Do you help
Probably.
Kim Kardashian's little brother sell socks?
I don't even know what it
Yeah.
is.
Do you help him lose weight?
It's something that has apparently taken the nation by storm because it's like one of the highest profitable games in the fucking app store.
Oh, of course it is.
So I wonder if Kanye was jelly.
You know, that's
Probably
actually
was.
that is impressive because that's something I would expect from the Google Play Store.
Yeah. Good job, Apple.
Yeah, that's a top paid app right there.
Yeah.
So is that the name of the game? One Love or one?
No, I don't
One
think the
Direction.
game has a name yet. It doesn't look like it has a name. I think it's also in just the discussion stages. I think.
I hope it's like a Flash-based, browser-based piece of
So I'm
shit.
saying it sounds like Rainbow Unicorn or Unicorn or whatever. Unicorn Attack.
Yeah.
Robot Unicorn.
No, there isn't much more information to it. Most of the information from the articles that I've read came from an interview that he did with a radio station, Power 105.1's The Breakfast Club. So that's all I know. So stay tuned. I mean, like, we got a lot of exciting stuff
This will
from
be
PAX
the
and from
official podcast of
yeah,
the Kanye
of the
West
Kanye
video
West video game. Stay tuned because we will keep you posted on the Kanye
Annie,
West video game.
Will you make a vow here and now in front of the
play the
dozens
game,
of
yes.
listeners?
There's the
Yes.
tens and
Tens and
twelves
dozens.
of people.
Will you play this game if it gets
There are
made?
dozens of us.
Will you power
Yes,
through it to review it?
Yes.
Okay.
I will
You
get,
heard it. You've heard the commitment.
I will get Donda all the way to the highest level
No
of heaven.
excuses.
No
Play like
excuses.
a champion.
What was her name?
Donda.
Don. Yeah, I don't want to laugh at Kanye's deceased mother.
No,
But
no,
I
that's
just
not the sad.
I find it
that
just
is sad.
disgusting that he is doing.
That,
I need
that
to know.
He's exploiting his mother's
Yeah, I need
death.
to know where the money for this game is going. I mean,
It's never gonna
You
get
know,
it.
I really would. I would be like semi on board with this if all of the, like you say, if all of the proceeds were going to some sort of charity, some sort of like,
even
And maybe they will.
even Little North's
I really
college
doubt-
fund, I could handle that.
yeah,
even
like that's better than, well, that kid doesn't. First of all, doesn't need college, and college is paid for 10 times over with their
Yeah.
parents' bank accounts now. But
yeah.
But I mean, like, I could almost get on board if it was going to something like halfway decent.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's not. So, but yes, I will play it.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what?
I would play a pirated copy.
No,
Only.
No. Oh, you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
I'm not going to pay for that
You know
shit.
what? Good. Welcome, Kanye, to the world of video games. So now that you're going to make this game, it's one thing to go around and say that you have a game coming out. Now support it. We need patches. We need DLC. We need length of gameplay. If you don't end this game properly, we're going to demand a new ending,
Yeah.
a la Mass Effect people. So yeah, welcome to the fold, Kanye, to be subjected to us.
Welcome to the
Yeah.
jungle.
We're going to slap a fucking number on your
Welcome
game
to
and
the
say
Yeah.
it's shit.
Thunderdome, bitch.
Yeah.
Listen,
do you- yeah.
Kanye. Tits or
You don't know what you're
GTFO?
getting into. Stay off my turf.
Yeah.
Now, I will say there have been a couple great video games made by celebrities.
I thought you were going to go rappers.
No, but there has been. What is the one 50 Cent?
The
something?
Blood in the Sands, or
Yeah.
Never played it, but Vin Diesel made a phenomenal Chronicles of Riddick game.
That
one
is
of the best games / movie.
one of the
tie-in games.
best movie adaptation games
Yeah.
ever made.
It's just a great game.
I
Yeah.
think this is also a fun fact that we should share is
Yeah.
that Anthony's mom has the biggest crush on Vin Diesel.
Yeah, it's an unhealthy crush on Vin Diesel.
Really?
Yeah, for one
Loves,
her
loves,
age.
loves.
Fast
him.
and Furious, Vin Diesel,
yeah,
or
yeah.
Caparzo?
Doesn't fucking matter.
Saving Private Ryan,
But mostly Fast and Furious. She is
okay.
one of the few. She goes to see the movies as soon as they come out.
Really?
Has them
She's
all on
one
DVD.
of like the 4
Wow.
or 5 people who
loves. I love Fast and Furious movies too. It's
do.
a
Oh, they're
guilty
really
pleasure.
good. They're really
But
good.
she loves.
But
them.
she's like been
She's
counting down the
like-
days
yeah.
until the computer generated Paul Walker comes on the screen.
Yeah,
So,
wow,
Yeah.
too soon.
it's true.
Chronicles of Riddick, and the baseball player, which I forget his name, who made Kingdoms of Amalur. Do you
Babe
remember
Ruth.
this guy?
Oh,
And
that
then-
was
and then
the
company went-
that was the pitcher from the Phillies.
Yeah, and then the studio went out of
Yeah,
business,
his
but it was
name
fantastic
escapes me
game.
now.
Sammy Sosa.
No, this is a white guy.
Bronson Arroyo. Anybody
No.
know that name?
Yes.
Made
Ernie
a
Banks.
CD where it was just a bunch of covers, and he covered my favorite band, Foo Fighters, Everlong. It was actually a really good cover.
Yeah.
And on the cover, it's him holding a guitar with his World Championship ring, World Series ring. Classy.
Yeah,
Anyway.
you know, these types of celebrity. I mean, look at the history here. I mean, yeah, 50 Cent's Blood in the Sand or whatever it is. It was god awful. Then you start getting into Shaq Fu territory.
Oh God, that's right.
I mean, really, you start
Sega
going
Genesis.
into you start going into Shaq Fu territory. There really hasn't been.
Shazam.
I don't even put Chronicles of Riddick in the category of like rappers or movie tie-in games. Throw in the Matrix games; those are fine because those are trash. But
But those weren't like, were they made or endorsed by Keanu Reeves?
no, but his likeness was
But
used.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but see,
I
I
mean,
don't
those were
count.
licensed.
Movie tie-ins suck in general, but the thing that was so great about Chronicles of Riddick was it was Vin Diesel started the game company. He was like, I want it to be good, and it was great, and he did the voice for the character, so I
Yeah.
mean, like, it just worked out really well. That's just a rare example.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Kanye.
Good luck, Kanye.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know.
Also, you have 3DS awesomeness
Oh my
to
gosh.
discuss.
It's glorious.
That's glorious.
Okay.
So, how many weeks now are you in on this system? How much time have you
About
logged?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good sample
Because
size.
I've had it for 4 weeks. Right?
Yep.
Are you asking me how many hours I've played it?
No. I mean, I'm just
I
saying
don't know that.
you've put in a significant amount of
decent
time
amount of
on
time,
this. So now
yeah.
you've kind of gotten, maybe the ins and outs, maybe some things you like, some things you don't like, things that, you're starting to see the launch day excitement it's gone now, and you're living with this system. What's you love it?
Okay, so I have been continuing to play Kirby because it's amazing. I love Kirby. I also am playing Mario 2, which I've never played before. That one's really tough. I'm not very good at, like, I don't know if you guys have picked this up in the last 63 episodes. I'm not very good at video games.
That's
so
not true.
It's very,
I've seen you play some games.
You're ahead of the curve, or maybe on the curve.
I think I'm just below said curve. Okay, so I like Sonic. And
Depending on the... Now, I've seen you tear up Sonic.
Sure, yeah.
Sonic is all right. I can hold my own in Sonic.
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. Yeah. Okay, but focusing on the prize is Mario 2 is really hard. Okay, you have to get these gigantic coins, and then you use the giant coins to like get to other levels. I can't get enough giant coins. I can't get to the other levels. It's so hard. And so then Anthony borrowed the 3DS, and he played it, and I'm looking at like, so he set up a whole new profile, and I've been like, I feel like I've been playing it like nonstop, and he's like, I look at his World 2. I'm like, damn it. He's like, yeah, I just played it for a couple hours. I'm like, are you kidding me that I've been playing it since like I got it and you're like already on World 2?
I don't know how you do it without the grip. My hand cramped up worse than the Vita.
I've been
so
like
uncomfortable to use.
Really?
Yeah, that would be my biggest complaint. Like the graphics are good. The tracking is what I mean is good. It's so much better. The 3D tracking is amazing. It's so much better than the last DS I had.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm so happy that worked.
Yeah.
I'm so
Doug
happy.
was saying that he can play it on the train, and it doesn't affect, I mean, like, you know, the regular bumpiness of the train, he can still see the 3D perfectly.
That's awesome.
You know, yeah. I mean, they did a great job with it. The hardest game that I have, Anthony bought for me, it's Finding Nemo.
Yeah. How was it?
It's really hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, did you see what Nemo went through in the movie?
Yeah.
Jesus, that's not easy.
It's an adventure.
Yeah.
That one's really hard. But I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm looking for a grip though. I think you can get a grip for the old 3DS XL, and it'll still work, and like the game slot won't be covered and stuff.
Right.
So I think I can get that, and I think I'm going to, because having the grip on my old one, it's a game changer. It's awesome.
I really liked that grip, that setup that you had with your old one. I really liked that a lot. And with now the little nub controller and all of that, losing that grip, I kind of I was going to ask you about that too, is how it felt. But how the system itself felt overall, going from grip to sans grip.
Sans grip I don't like as much, and I have weak pinkies. This is true story. I have rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. So I'm laughing because Anthony's laughing, but I really do have
weak pinkies.
I have weak pinkies and dainty
grip.
No, I just have
dainty hands,
dainty joints, and so to really like hold on to it really hurts. But I would much rather have the grip on it. I mean, it is much. I had the regular size DS last time, and it is bigger. So I mean, it's that much heavier. Like, it's not heavy, but it's heavier. You know. So I just feel like the lady in the first world problems meme right now, talking about how heavy
the struggle is real.
The struggle is real.
Hey, when you're holding a piece of anything for any amount of time, if it's not molded or contoured to your hands or ergonomic in any way, that digs in after a little while.
Yeah.
And you want, if Nintendo expects you to hold this thing for long periods of time and game with it for long periods of time, I wish they would drop the, almost sharp-edged approach to things. I mean, it's almost like they went back to the original NES controller, like the boxy controller. It's like, make the thing like you're clutching it. Like, have someone take a mold of plastic and just clutch it.
Like every other controller in the market.
And then build the system around that.
It's not a controller. That's the thing, is that it's meant to be a handheld game, and the way that I see it, it's meant to be traveled with. I mean,
and
like,
personal organizer.
Yeah, and personal organizer.
3D camera.
So you can, it's much easier to travel with if it doesn't have that, Xbox, those grippy things on it. If I have a grip on it, like, I don't take it anywhere.
Right.
So I would just keep the grip on it all the time. But the way that I have it in a case now, it's very easy to to travel with. I mean, like,
Well, and the other thing that, like, even thinking to the original Nintendo controller, it worked fine because it was stationary. Like, there weren't top buttons. There weren't, like, your hands were in one position and you could hold it. This thing, even just playing Mario, the circle pad is not, it doesn't feel accurate enough that you want to use that.
I never use the circle pad.
So when you use the D-pad, then your hand's in an even more awkward position. And then if you have to use those triggers, it's like, it's just a disaster. It's just too much. It's like the same problem I had with the Vita.
Right. Yeah, it's I wish they would just kind of contour the design of that thing.
Yeah.
But I
still
understand
like
why
it.
they don't. Yeah, I understand why they don't, and they should make a monopoly on the grips too. I mean, they should somehow market and monopoly the grips because they would sell a bunch of them.
They should.
But they
Nintendo
don't.
needs to take charge sometime.
accessories?
They just let people whore out their stuff,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it just they always lose every time they. This is historical fact with Nintendo. Anytime people have hijacked their hardware or their software, Nintendo always loses when they go to court with those people. That's why I don't like Micro Machines or the fucking Game Genie or Galoob as a company at large. I don't like them just because all they wanted was their games on Nintendo, and regardless, you can get mad at Nintendo for their licensing issues and the contracts they had with game developers back in the day, all that stuff. It was all in the name of quality control, and they wanted to control the library of games on their platforms. And people were like, no, fuck that, we're gonna hijack your shit and make it work anyways. Like as far as like electroshocking the system to get shit to work properly, I mean, come on.
I know.
So it drives me crazy. They could make so much money, and if it was first party, it'd be good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So-
Well, and then, yeah, exactly. If it was first party, it'd be good. I would trust it a lot more if it was like, okay, I bought this Nintendo 3DS and I bought the Nintendo grip for it, so I know it's going to fit on perfectly.
You see that
know?
little golden seal,
Yeah.
officially licensed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get that nowadays.
No, and you know what? I look for it on certain things. I really do. When it's in the world of Nintendo, I look for that little seal because Nintendo accessories made by third-party developers sometimes can be great. Other times they're fucking they're just garbage. Just garbage. The worst kind of garbage.
Looking at you, Mad Cats.
Mad Cats especially, for any system. So yeah, that upsets me that Nintendo doesn't take charge and make a really solid grip. They're always like, no, this is what you're going to use.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
So I would say at this point, sans grip, it's like 4 out of 5 Planet Arbitraries.
Okay. That's still
still
a
good.
decent amount of arbitraries.
Still 80%.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the handheld games. Like Anthony is now, you have gotten your PlayStation 4. He's been playing
just rolling in video games.
PlayStation 4. Yeah.
Well, Annie, I think what's coming in the future of games is going to be right up your alley then.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Now, did
Oh
you
my
you follow the stuff with the
No.
virtual reality stuff going on?
No,
Did you guys
because I
see-
don't think that I mean, it's going to be better than your Virtual Boy, but I really
Come
didn't
on.
like your Virtual Boy. No offense.
Let's be real.
I really hated it a lot.
I've played it over the weekend and it was fun.
Did you really?
As did my wife. Yeah, and we had fun. Well, my wife did not have as much fun as I did.
She had a seizure.
Yeah, well, she just, at one point she's like, I just don't want to play this anymore.
Stop making me
and
play this.
And I have the picture of her. I'll show you the photo of her throwing the controller down and trying to get away from it. It's very classic because it's her with her face in the headset, and then the next picture is her trying to get away from it with like a look of disgust on her face.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the virtual reality stuff. So, yay or nay on that, Annie?
I'm not a fan.
Not a fan?
It took a long time for me to get on board with the 3D feature of my 3DS.
Yeah.
That's as far as I'll go.
Well, game companies are going to jam some virtual reality shit down your throat, whether you like it or not. It seems to
they're
be.
not.
It's the future.
It seems to be the case. That's what everyone wants to do at PAX and GDC over the past couple of weeks here. Yep. Everybody announced a virtual reality, or not necessarily announced, but showed off their virtual reality hardware. And I've got a list here of just a few of them. Now, the front runner we'll talk about first is the Valve Vive. V-I-V-E.
See,
the
and I
Valve
didn't say that's the
Vive.
front runner, but continue.
It's the HTC Vive. This is a partnership between Valve
Yes.
and HTC, the phone maker, for a virtual reality headset. And this particular headset, you have to hang 2 sensors on the walls in your living room, and this is for their position tracking positional tracking to make sure that your movements are far more accurate. And from what I understand, it works beautifully. And people have said that have hands-on experience with it. Everything I've read so far, everyone says that it is ahead of all of the other headsets. More so than Oculus Rift, more so than Project Morpheus, more so than Samsung's Project VR Gear, or Gear VR, however you want to pronounce it. People really like it. And it looks like the front runner at the moment. Now, you said you disagree.
No, I agree. I was thinking of in terms of how far it is along in production, because the Project Morpheus seems like they said that it will be out early next year.
Yeah.
I don't know how long until we get some Valve VR.
Yeah, then that's the thing is this hardware exists. So Valve has the Valve Vive, the HTC Vive. After that, it's Sony with Project Morpheus. And people said Project Morpheus, the difference between the Vive, the HTC Vive, and the Morpheus is the overall fit of Project Morpheus. You can wear, I think this was the one. You could actually.
They all look the exact same. Like
they do.
I'm googling it now.
I'm looking at my stuff.
Differences in the
thing that really stuck out for me with Project Morpheus is that if you have glasses. If you are visually impaired, if you have glasses, you can wear your glasses in it. And it's still comfortable.
It's so weird because Project Morpheus looks like what you would expect a virtual reality headset to look like. Every other one looks like if the military made a virtual reality. It's like this boxy black. It's just weird. Like they all look the same.
Project Morpheus looks like from the future.
Yeah, but Project Morpheus, wraps around your head. It's all looks like sleek looking.
It looks like a third member of Daft Punk.
It's weird. Yeah. So that's why that's shocking. But leave it up to Valve to just come out of nowhere and be like, here's the virtual reality headset we've been working on for 5 or however long they said, 3 years or something. Yeah,
and from what everything that's coming out and all the people that got hands-on time, there were no official games that people were playing with these headsets. There was a lot of demos for everything.
Of course.
And if these just what was unveiled recently, it looks like we're all going to be playing Half-Life mods in virtual reality for the next
Portal.
10 years.
Portal 1.
And Portal. Because that's all everyone was raving about. Now, Project Morpheus had a game called London Heist, which was a shootout type of game that people were raving about. But there's no game. Real serious game.
I tell you what, and it's good because I think we need to, just like we eased into video games, I think we need to ease into virtual reality. Because I don't think you could just slap a virtual reality headset on somebody and have them play Battlefield 5.
Right.
I think you'd be throwing up everywhere.
Well, Team Fortress.
Oh God.
Throw someone into Team Fortress with a virtual reality headset. I mean,
I think if you make some specific things around virtual, a lot of especially for slower moving exploration type games, things that put you in an environment that get really oh wow, look at this. But don't throw me into a fucking roller coaster game because I'm going to throw up all over you.
Well, I think that's why Half-Life was a good choice because Half-Life has action.
Slower
it has movement, but it's a little bit more paced.
Yeah.
It's not the spastic jerking and
Twitch shooting.
Yeah, just crazy, insane movements of Fortress or even a Call of Duty or a shooter or any other traditional shooter. So, not to be left out is the Samsung Gear VR, and this is an actual Oculus Rift, Oculus branded headset. This one is weird. Do you know about the Samsung Gear VR?
No.
Do you know what
headlines.
Okay, this thing is something that you actually snap a phone into. Jeez. This is more of just an accessory.
Oh, so
you snap your phone into it. Now it runs off.
That is the poor man's VR.
Yeah, it runs off the Galaxy Note. So if you have a Galaxy Note, even the Galaxy Note Edge that has the little edge display will fit in this thing.
Okay.
And it's essentially a glorified Virtual Boy.
Oh, God.
Essentially.
It's just putting a screen up to your face like that?
Basically. It blows it up and kind of makes it a little bit more wraparound and immersive.
I don't like it.
But here's the thing. So it's a Samsung branded headset. It runs on your phone. What games are you going to play on your phone, on a Samsung phone?
Angry Birds.
Bonza.
Yeah, where are you going to go to buy games on a Samsung phone?
Oh, God, please don't tell me there's a Samsung store.
No, it's the Google Play Store.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're playing Google Play Store games in basically with 3D
exactly
effects.
what the world has been asking for.
Yeah, exactly.
New ways to play mobile games.
Now that, I see the Samsung Gear VR falling off fairly fast because it's a
that's
little bit
garbage.
more gimmicky. The Project Morpheus seems a little bit more fleshed out, as does the Valve, the HTC Vive.
Yeah.
Seems a little bit more fleshed out. Even Oculus Rift
actually,
alone is a little bit more.
That's been the name for a while.
Yeah, I mean, and there's demos abound. I mean, there's tons of little demos and things to show off the abilities of these particular headsets. But yeah, so far the front runner seems to be. I'm not going to declare it, but it seems to be, as far as positive press goes, seems to be the Vive, because everyone felt like with the little Steam controllers that haven't been shown yet, that you have to hold in your hands, and you do have to hang sensors on the walls for the positional tracking.
But you have to use a Kinect. I mean, like it seems like it's the same concept as a Kinect.
It essentially is, yeah. It essentially is, yes.
You just strap something to your head. Now, you're not talking about HoloLens from Microsoft. Do you not lump those together?
No, that's a little bit different. But I like the concept.
holographics.
Yeah, I like the concept of HoloLens a little bit more
That's
than
why
virtual reality.
I see Annie using a HoloLens over a VR because it's see-through.
Yes.
And it's just putting things in the environment as opposed to this is everything you see is attached to your face.
But see, that's the thing. They've made these headsets in a way that they are so immersive. I mean, even when I played, even when I played Oculus, I mean, you do get a very real sense of, you don't see the outline of the headset around your face. You're looking so straightforward, and there's so much depth to what you're seeing that you kind of forget that you have the headset on in the first place. That becomes your field of view, and you do have a generous field of view. I mean, you can see all the way around to the corners, and it was closed off, so it's not like I could see outside the edges or anything like that. The thing that bothered me with an Oculus Rift is that I couldn't wear my glasses. And, that was kind of a problem, but I like the fact that Project Morpheus, it fits. Everyone said that it fits really nice. It straps onto your head really well. It feels very, very comfortable, and I guess that's what you're going to want. From a VR headset, especially since there's going to be a cable sticking out the back of your head hooked up to whatever system is powering it, whether it's a PS4 or a PC or something like that. Now you can get away with
mobile phone.
Exactly, your mobile phone. Well, you can get away with that with the Gear VR from Samsung, then, because it's just running on your phone. But if you want the real deal, you got to be hooked in. You got to be like the Matrix.
You got to be jacked in.
Yes. So
VR is the future, apparently.
Everyone's talking about it, but that's the thing, is that there's no game support, really. I mean, I'm sure there are games in the works, absolutely, but no one's actually seen a real concrete, solid game that you're going to spend hours.
When you have to understand, in 10 years, 20 years, when our kids are playing video games, this is going to be standard for them. Virtual reality is totally going to be the standard.
I think it'll be there.
When you go to Disney World and you ride the carousel, what is it?
Carousel of Progress?
Carousel. You ever do that? It's the worst ride at Disney World.
The Carousel
you sit in a bunch of chairs.
Progress?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
You sit in chairs and it
Okay,
takes
listen.
you. Please go ahead.
Okay, so the stage is stationary.
It's like a
and
round,
the audience
circular stage.
moves around. Okay.
So remember in Jurassic Park when they sit down and then they just like move to the different sections
just
of the lab?
Yeah.
It's like that, except with
Except-
It's kind of a ride.
It's kind of a ride.
Because the reason that Anthony hates it so much is because they will stop it if you stand up.
Every fucking
And they'll
time.
say,
Somebody in other parts of the room.
Please sit down.
Please sit down. So it's the worst ride.
And they sing this great song. There's a great big,
Every
beautiful
time
tomorrow.
you progress
and it's really
like
long.
the 15 different scenes, it's the same
It's
fucking
like
song.
There's like 4 different scenes.
But by the time you get to the end, it's the future. So you go from beginning to the
so
future.
you start it, it's just to see how times change. So it starts at like, in the 1700s or something, and then they jump ahead and just see the different ways that they...
And it's like the same family, but
Yeah.
like in different time periods. It's fucking trippy. But then you get to the future one,
It's
and
so
and the
cool.
grandma's playing video games with the virtual reality headset that looks just like an Oculus Rift, and she's playing the games, and the grandson's watching the TV, what she's doing, and he's a grandma. It's like they called it. They fucking called it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's the future.
Disney.
Yeah, it's the thing is, and I keep hearing this debate get brought up quite a bit, is right now, gaming as it is right now, what is the need? Where is the market for these headsets other than just it being a really cool piece of hardware that, works.
Right.
They've proven it works. And the hardware is nice on some of these headsets. They have very nice displays. Granted, there's some, graphical discrepancies here and there. Things don't look as sharp as they should be, but it's so early in development for even just the little demos that are running on these things. It's very forgivable. what is the need for these headsets? I just don't.
Okay, but you could argue that, I mean, like, to a non-gamer, you could argue that with any sort of video gaming equipment.
Well, you could, but I mean, you always need something to interface with your TV to play the game. Like, you always need that. And I feel the TV and the controller do a very good job already. They've already done so much.
So why add the...
So why the virtual reality part? I get it's cool, but at the same time, when you're sitting on the couch and you're playing a video game the old-fashioned way, staring at your television, you're still aware of your surroundings. Whereas if you're sitting on the couch with a virtual reality headset strapped to your face, you're completely closed off to that headset.
Yeah.
So you can't see anything that's going on. So, like, if I've got my daughter running around or something like that, I could not play this thing with a little kid running around. Mm-mm. You know, I mean, I can't sit down and play 5 hours of virtual reality headset without the house, going to shit, something happening. And not only that, someone could, be standing right next to me. A ghost could be standing next to me, staring at me the entire time I'm playing, and I'd never know. Mm-hmm. So it's it fits a very, like our issues with streaming, it fits a very specific need, a very specific situation for gaming, and I think this is more the game player that has far more recreational game time to screw around with something, as opposed to somebody that's going to sit down, play for a little while, and then get up and go do something else and carry on with their day, whether that's kids or work or whatever they got to do.
So you said earlier that you think it's the future of gaming. Do you think it really is the future, or is this just a fad in gaming?
I don't think I think it's something that's going to kind of follow parallel with games. It's going to kind of follow alongside it. It's always going to be there, but it's not something we have to fully adapt to 100%. That would be something I would be disappointed in, is if that's kind of the route that they went. And I'm not really getting a hint of that right now. It doesn't seem that's what they want to do. Like they want to shift from, all right, TVs are done. Mm-hmm. We want to go to a headset type of interface. I haven't really gotten a whiff of that yet. And if they do that, I mean, I personally would be disappointed with that kind of that path if they went that way.
You would be all set though.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah, I mean, I would play. I mean, if that's how I had to do it.
I mean, like you have all the systems and the games that you need.
Yeah, I mean, well, right now the PS4 is what they were demoing Project Morpheus on. I mean, it was handling it.
I think the virtual reality is what's going to add new life into the video game industry over time, because right now things are great. Video games are at an all-time high.
Yeah.
But you're doing the same things that we did as kids on a Nintendo, just with better graphics.
Right.
Like there are still side-scrolling games, but now every game's like a shooter or a third-person game or a puzzle. Like you're doing the same things, and look at all the fire that Microsoft and Sony get about, graphics and frame rate. It's like we're doing the same things, but people are hungry for more things.
Right.
And I just feel like virtual reality is just kind of something that's going to help evolve the video game industry and technology as a whole.
That's
what I'm excited about.
I agree with you. I think the impact beyond video games is what's exciting about
Just like the Kinect.
Exactly. I think if you think that the Wii brought in a casual gaming audience, wait until these headsets.
That's the other thing I was thinking.
Reach retail.
Your mother would maybe put on a virtual reality headset and not have to use a controller.
Exactly. Well, not necessarily, or not even play a game at all. I mean, you could watch a movie. You could
lay on the beach.
Yeah, exactly, and that's gonna be the thing that's gonna be kind of weird. Is this kind of odd cyberpunk existence of people doing these virtual escapes?
Did you read the book Ready Player One?
No, I did not. I heard a lot of I read a lot of comparisons.
All this
to that.
is.
Yeah.
Like they go into these headsets and they go into these digital environments where they go to school.
Yeah.
All these things where like that's just how they live.
Yes.
And that's what's going to happen.
I think, that's where the impact is going to be most felt. I mean, the purchase of Oculus Rift by Facebook, right. I think is very telling of that. Mm-hmm. Now, if they do some positional awareness type of things where if on your headset there were maybe, a camera facing forward and cameras facing to the side where they could feed into your view once in a while, you could check at what's going on around you, mm-hmm. so you're not closed off to the world around you. Yeah. Once in a while would certainly help. I know you can still hear what's going on, but strap on a headset, strap on headphones. You have no idea. Your house could burn down around you and you wouldn't even know.
This is why I like HoloLens, because I feel like HoloLens gives you the best of both experiences, where like eventually you don't need to have a TV on your wall, right?
Right.
You can have your HoloLens and you can have as big as a TV as you want
Yes.
because it's just going to project the image. But then you can also see what's happening in the real world. You can have calls pop up. Like, there's so many awesome potentials with that technology.
Yeah.
Virtual reality has its own concept. The HoloLens thing is very exciting.
That is what I think it should be.
And it probably will.
Yeah, I mean, HoloLens I think is my preferred future of gaming.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like that far more than strapping something to my face. Though these headsets are cool, and playing Oculus is very fun.
Yep.
And it's going to be fun to dabble with, but I like HoloLens more. So yes, we will see how it's all going to pan out.
See.
Next up, NVIDIA had lots of announcements. You know, this is the game streaming podcast.
Yeah.
You know, if anyone's been hitting up the NVIDIA products, it's been Anthony and I, and even Annie has seen how that integrates into the real world. And we're going to talk about all of that. But first, we're going to take a little commercial break.
Okay.
What's wrong, sweet precious Anthony?
Well, I love video games,
As do I.
and I love shopping for video games.
Well, who doesn't?
But what if I want to shop for video games but don't want to leave the comfort of my home?
I'm really glad you asked, Anthony. Have you heard of off-the-charts video games?
No, but it sounds wonderful. Please tell me more about off-the-charts video games.
Well, the folks at Off the Charts Video Games have built a site with the needs of collectors in mind.
Really?
Really. OTCVideogames.com gives the experience of a brick-and-mortar store from the comfort of your own home. With pictures and individual descriptions for every item, you know exactly what you're getting when you place an order.
But Annie, how do I know if the games actually work?
Every game is tested in-house on their multi-system testing station, so your order will come backed with a quality guarantee and great customer service should you have any issues.
That's truly fantastic, Annie. But what about shipping?
Are you ready for this?
I think so.
At OTCVideogames.com, all orders over $50 get free shipping within the United States, and it ships out next business day.
Oh, snap!
I know!
You know how I have a lot of loose game cartridges lying around that I wish I could just purchase the boxes and manuals for? Lasai.
Are you sitting down?
You know I don't like sitting.
In addition to tons of complete in-box games, Off the Chart Video Game now sells separate boxes and manuals for Nintendo 64 and NES games. With more platforms coming soon, you'll be able to complete your loose game collection once and for all.
This is too good to be true. I'm feeling lightheaded. I think I should sit down after all.
Well, see how this floats your noodle. For a limited time, Play On listeners can get 5% off their next order. Just enter Play On Podcast at checkout to take advantage of the 5% discount. Again, that's Play On Podcast at checkout for your 5% discount.
Annie, I'm so impressed with your knowledge of OTCVideogames.com.
You are welcome.
And we're back. We're going to be talking next to Anthony.
Hello. So a lot of news out of the GDC conference was from NVIDIA's specific conference.
This is exciting.
I'm very excited about some of the things NVIDIA is doing. I want to point out a few things. They're going to launch a 1080p game streaming subscription service in May. So we've kind of seen it with their current Grid service where
Yes.
you can stream games. They're promising 1080p 60 frame per second streaming.
Oh,
That's going to be a wait and see. That's all I'm going to comment
what
about
a,
this.
What a
It's a
what
this
a
is
promise.
this is the what was not Ouya OnLive. OnLive was trying to do this years ago, and it kind of worked. It kind of didn't. It's very dependent on your internet.
Yes.
So anyway, they announced that they're going to do that. Good for them. Could be great. Could be just whatever. They also announced their own console. So a 1080p Shield Android TV console, $200.
Yep.
Same thing. That's gonna be the device that they're gonna push to allow you to stream. So now you've got the NVIDIA Shield Portable, which is the kick-ass handheld that we all like.
Yes.
They have the tablet, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have this. So NVIDIA is taking over all these hardware aspects. We know that they can do game streaming fine. Whether they can do this over the internet that good will remain to be seen.
With American residential internet.
But take a look at the pictures of this thing. It looks like something out of the future in space. It's very weird. It's the Shield console. But everybody keeps... it was pissing me off because all the news press was like, NVIDIA goes into the console market. This is an Android console for Android games. Like, this is like an Ouya. This is not a
Yes.
console competitor in my mind. This is a novelty competitor.
Yeah, I think this is more of a dedicated streaming device than anything.
Well, and so here you have a $200 streaming device. Now, here's my most excited thing that came out of GDC. Steam announces a $50 Steam Link PC.
Yep.
Little set. It looks like an Apple TV.
Yep.
Designed to stream your PC games to any TV in your house at full resolution, 60 frames per second.
Worth it.
That's
$50.
That's fantastic.
And it has Steam OS on it, so it's still going to be able to support some basic operating system functions.
Yep.
$50. They hit a home run with this. That's the perfect price point to do exactly what you'd want out of a streaming device.
Yep.
And it's Steam. So
And that's
very exciting for me.
And that's the internal struggle right there, is that I love the NVIDIA solution so much.
Oh, yeah.
But the Steam box, that thing.
I'll tell you what. All I use now is the Steam in-home streaming.
Yeah.
And it's pristine. You would never even know you were streaming it. So I'm so excited to be able to plug this into the TV and play the computer games on the big TV without any hassle. So excited about it.
Yes.
So that is my most exciting thing that came out of GDC. But there were so many announcements. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5 is coming out September. A new Wolfenstein game is coming out in May.
That is the game that I am most excited about, is Old Blood.
It looks so cool.
It does.
The one that they just put out.
Yeah.
Sleeper hit. It's so good.
But the Wolfenstein Old Blood, Mecha Hitler. Mecha Hitler is
going to
back.
be there. The castle, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Valve just put out a whole bunch of stuff. There's a fantastic video. You know, people always praise Gaben, right? Like everybody, PC Master Race and all that. What I love about Valve is that you have Microsoft and Sony doing these huge, like, fucking entertainment press conferences with strobe lights and smoke, and then you have Valve. You have Gabe, who's a billionaire.
Yeah.
He's just sitting in a corner of GDC, and he's just talking to people, and he's like, "Hi, my name's Gabe, and I work for Valve." And he goes through all the things that they're doing. He's just such a cool guy.
Yeah.
And he just
would you like some money?
Yeah. Here's all the things that they're coming out with, and they're gonna do their source engine that their games are like Portal and Half-Life and those. They're gonna put that engine out for free, so people can make games with that engine. Just like Valve is such a great company, good for them. They also announced their controller, their Steam controller, which looks like a heaping pile of shit. I will hold it. I want to test it, but I don't know what, like, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Exactly.
What's wrong with a normal controller?
It looks like
why it has to be like this?
It looks like an iPod Bluetooth speaker docking type of system. Like, it doesn't.
This is what it looks like. There are no thumbsticks.
Stupid.
There are like a trackpad, like because trackpads on a laptop are great to play games with. And then you've got something that's it's just a weird monstrosity. The buttons are flipped.
It looks freaky. It looks a little weird. It looks like a weird hybrid Xbox One controller, but take out the thumbsticks. Though it does have one thumbstick.
It does have one thumbstick.
But put in these weird sunken in touchpads.
It's weird.
I don't know if they're going forward with it and they're all in with it like that. There must be some beta testing going on where people are like, "This is comfortable."
Well,
do it.
What I appreciate about it is that it serves a purpose for games that don't support controllers, so mouse and keyboard games.
Well, here's your
that
controller.
People want to play with a controller.
Yeah. Well, here's your controller for your Steam box.
You could use your mouse. Yes, and of course, here's the officially supported controller for your Steam box. There's just so many things that came out of GDC. There was also news that I just want to blow through real quick. 20.2 million PS4s sold so far.
I did
20.2 million, way ahead of the PlayStation 3 and or Xbox 360 last generation. So console gaming is still alive and well. Maxi is the company that did SimCity. Closed down.
Yeah.
So EA shut down that.
Well,
so that's unfortunate for all the people that work there.
They certainly didn't help themselves.
No. But I don't
with
think that
the whole SimCity debacle.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if that was their fault or if that was EA's fault.
Ooh, well,
either way, that hurts them.
Yeah.
So anyway, there was a whole bunch of stuff. Rock Band 4. I love me some Rock Band.
I know you do.
Love me some Rock Band. Rock Band 4 is coming back. Whatever console you get it on, you can get all your DLC songs from older rock bands for free. So excited about that.
And
I'm gonna be able to play drums.
All the old hardware is going to carry over. You can use all
hardware.
your instruments that have been
Hopefully
collecting
they'll
dust.
make some better new hardware, like some quieter stuff, but fantastic. So it's just been a great couple weeks. I also want to give you a couple 1 minute Anthony game reviews.
Okay.
'Cause I feel like I haven't talked about games that I've played in a while.
Sure.
I played The Order 1886.
Okay. This I want to hear.
And I don't want to wait another 2 weeks to talk about it.
Yeah, this I want to hear.
I loved it.
Loved it.
I don't know if it's worth running out and paying $60 for.
Okay.
But absolutely worth a playthrough. People were giving it a lot of shit. It's very linear. But I tell you what, in a time where there's so many fucking games to play, to have an 8-hour fantastic cinematic storytelling experience that's still fun to play with visuals like I've never seen in a video game before. Like Annie was watching me play. Looks like you're watching a movie.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Now, my understanding is that it's far more cinematic. It's more of an experience than a game. Am I correct with that? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's very cinematic. I mean, it's telling a story, and then at the action parts of the story, you're playing. There's a lot, like especially the second half of the game, you're on foot a lot of it. It reminds me very much of The Last of Us, but with more cutscenes.
Yes.
But the cutscenes, you kind of have to be on your toes because all of a sudden something will happen in the cutscene where there'll be a quick time event or whatever, and you'll have to do something. And I know people are against that, but on the same side, maybe you don't want to sit there and watch a cutscene for 5 minutes and just watch.
Right.
This is kind of cool because you interact. It's just a really fun game. I don't think people are giving it enough credit that's due because of, they're saying it's short, it's linear. Totally those are valid points.
Well, we are living in post Mass Effect times where we need 50 plus hours. We're living in the world of Destiny right now, and it needs to be a second job.
It's just unreal. Like there are definitely games that are like that, and sometimes you just want to get. And this, like, James bought a PlayStation 4, and he was like, "Can you borrow me Infamous or whatever?" And I'm like, "Why don't you play The Order?"
Yeah.
It's like I know how James how much time he has to play video games.
Yeah.
He enjoyed it. He liked it. Like I want you to play it. You can borrow it if you want to play it.
Okay.
I thought it was really fun. Wait till maybe it drops in price to go buy it.
Okay.
Maybe borrow it from a friend. Support the developer, because I think a sequel, just like with Rise, a sequel could really change all the problems with those games. So I give it my recommendation.
Nice.
The other thing that I just started playing, which I will report next week, is Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Fantastic. I've played about an hour and a half, tugged at all my emotional heartstrings already. Game starts, it's like super sad. I could tell it's going to be a great game. It's like a Metroid type game.
Yep.
Or Castlevania, whatever. Last thing, I finally beat The Last of Us.
Yes.
All the praise. I was worried that all the hype wasn't going to live up to it. It lived up to it.
There's a reason why they made a special Last of Us Edition PS4
Yeah,
bundle.
there's a reason why it's like the PlayStation 4's best game.
Yeah.
Fantastic game. I was trying to explain the story to Annie. It's very difficult if you don't play through it to understand the emotional empowerment. Fantastic game. And it came with the DLC, which have you even played the DLC?
No, I have not.
You play as Ellie before you get bit.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not really a spoiler. That's the whole fucking game.
Well,
You play as Ellie.
yeah.
Leading up to that. So it's just emotional roller coaster all the way around.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic storytelling.
Well, that game gets
Great
you right off the bat anyways.
Oh yeah,
So,
of course.
Yeah.
And so, but that's why The Order reminded me so much of it, because it's the same thing. Because really, you could say The Order 18 or Last of Us is nothing more than you watch the cutscene, you go shoot some people, and you move a ladder.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the formula is the same the whole game. You take Ellie and move her on a raft.
Uh-huh.
It's the same thing the whole way through. It's just more of that versus cutscene. Order 1886 is a little more balance between cutscene and action, but it's very similar in my opinion. It's not like there's an open world for you to do something in The Last of Us.
With The Order, one thing that turned me off what I was reading about was I'm fine with cutscenes, but quick time events, I feel we're beyond those now.
Okay.
We're above those.
Yeah.
And granted, if there's a good story and I'm emotionally invested in the story, and the plot has me hooked, I'm fine with a quick time event if that's what it needs to move things forward. But that's my big problem with games like God of War, where you end up the game could have been just so huge.
Just a button mash.
But you just push up one button here and there instead of
agreed.
very nice attacks where like you have a game like that kind of scale, Shadow of the Colossus, where you're actually really attacking those things instead of push this right
Order
now.
1886 is much less quick time than like Rise, for example.
Yeah.
Very much less. The combat is, again, it's just one of those games where you're playing it and like there's moments where you're like, this is just unreal. I never would have imagined that I'd be playing a game that looks like this, where it looks like you're watching a CGI movie and it's just, the effects and even like the storytelling and the action and the animation. Fantastic all around. So yeah, I would like you to try to play it.
Okay.
A little bit.
Absolutely. Did you have anything else with that?
I
with the
think
news?
that's all I got.
There's one other little tidbit that's right up the alley for all three of us.
Oh,
being that we're all cord cutters from traditional cable.
Yeah.
Did you see the announcement about PlayStation Vue?
No.
PlayStation Vue. Sony is going to soft launch the PlayStation Vue internet-based TV service within the next 2 weeks. Let's see here. The service will come out of beta in Chicago, New York City, and Philadelphia, and made available as full commercial release. This PlayStation Vue service runs on a PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, and what it'll do is it'll allow users to watch live, on-demand television programs without the requirement of a cable subscription.
That's what I'm talking about.
Upon launch, now this is what you get at launch of PlayStation Vue. Upon launch, it will include over 75 channels, CBS, Fox, NBC, and all Viacom channels. Okay? It says pricing for monthly services still to be announced.
Okay.
But that it's going to be fair and competitive, no cancellation charges.
So this is a alternative to Sling TV, which is what's going to come to the Xbox. Because you could pay
Exactly.
$20, but it doesn't have, like, Sling TV doesn't have CBS and Fox and all that.
Yeah, now this is an actual dedicated streaming TV service. On top of that, they're going to release it on third-party platforms, the iPad.
Wow.
Yes.
I tell you
this
what.
is a real solution. Now, I ran into this recently with the Oscars, trying to watch the Oscars at home. Being cord cutters, you could either use a digital TV tuner or
just hit or miss.
Yeah, exactly. Or you have to watch it online somewhere.
Yeah.
Which streams are god awful.
Yeah.
They're just the worst. Lately, because networks and TV and internet, the companies have cracked down on streaming. I mean, you can still find a stream here and there,
hard.
but it's difficult.
Yeah.
And the streams that are provided by the networks themselves, it's almost as if they think nobody's on the internet watching content.
Right.
Like the Super Bowl stream that NBC provided for free, which was great. They didn't have to do that for free. That was awesome that you could watch a Super Bowl for free online. That stream sucked.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bad resolution.
it was god
yeah.
awful. And I understand they say, well, what do you want from us? You get to watch it for free. And it's like, well, if you're going to offer up something like that, make it watchable.
Right.
I mean,
It's just hurting them.
Yes, and the mentality of streaming their content online, they almost seem like, well, no one's watching stuff on TV, on the internet. Why would we stream our content on the internet? Nobody watches TV online.
Unreal.
So then you have things like Roku and Apple TV and things like this, but now there's in addition to Sling TV, which we talked about a few weeks ago, now you have an actual service that's not locking you into a contract.
That's the best part.
Yeah, with a stupid bundle where you have to
Cancel at any time.
yeah, cancel at any time. You don't have to buy a fucking landline
Right. Or a special
bundle
box.
it. Yeah, special box, or you get a promotional price that expires at the end of the promotional period.
Yeah.
This is a nice slap in the face to traditional media companies. Saying that, look, the reality is lots of people are streaming. There's a huge audience. You can still advertise. I feel like there's a stigma with like Hulu Plus and even Netflix, early on, they're like, yeah, you can just watch TV without commercials.
Yeah.
And I understand that networks would get nervous about like, well, how are we going to make any goddamn money? No fucking commercials. Hulu has commercials. Hulu Plus has commercials.
Sure does.
But they're not really noticeable. It's
They're
not
quick.
the obscene amount of traditional over-the-air TV commercials where you're getting 12 in a row.
Yeah.
You get 2.
Yeah, most of the show is commercials, yeah.
Exactly. So there's a huge audience that wants this, and this is the first thing. I was very excited about Sling TV, but when I heard about this, I was like,
this sounds
I was
fantastic.
like, this is it. This will be what leads Sony's going to lead the way in streaming TV service.
It's so funny because they're doing all the things that Xbox was supposed to do, but they're just silently doing it.
Yes.
Right? Here's the TV service. Here's all these things, virtual reality and all this. So there's a good connection between video games and these cord-cutting TV services because the majority of like Netflix devices and stuff are the video game consoles.
Right.
So there's we get the benefit of all these additional services, whether it's Sling or whether it's Vue. And like Apple just had their event, and HBO's subscription-based service. So you don't even have to have cable starting soon to watch HBO. That's going to be on Apple devices, but eventually that's going to come to everything else. Cable companies are dying for cable TV. It's not a question. People are cutting cords left and right. You can get your shows in a way better format, so many different ways now.
On multiple devices. Why be a traditional over-the-air network like an NBC or a CBS or ABC or whatever, and know that people can only consume your content when they're sitting at home on their couch? Why not make it so they can stream your content anywhere, anytime, without having to be, confirm your provider first, and then you can access the stream, and then you got to call somebody up that has Comcast or whatever.
Well, and talk about being a network TV station. Everybody hears about those Nielsen set-top boxes, right?
Yes.
Like that's how they get their summary of data that they extrapolate out into a wider range. If you're network TV, why wouldn't you want to be connected directly to the person watching your show and understand everything about them?
Yes.
It seems so much more valuable to have these digital type connections instead of traditional cable service running through fucking Nielsen boxes and Comcast and all that. It just seems like this is clearly the future. We're just on the beginning, but again, it's one of those things where 20 years from now, our kids, this is going to be standard.
Yeah,
TV will just be digital like that.
Yeah, and this is I think is the real first step of
this is a big threat
traditional
to
cable streaming on the internet now, and it's goddamn ridiculous. It's almost a slap in the face when I watch TV and I see a Comcast commercial, an Xfinity commercial.
Yeah.
You want to know how insanely ridiculous Comcast is when they advertise their Xfinity internet and they show real people, not paid actors, like in a fucking shopping mall at a Comcast kiosk, and they have two computers next to each other and be like, tell us which one runs faster, which one downloads faster, and you see their stupid little pre-made graphics. Who the fuck downloads anything on a screen that looks even remotely like those screens that you see? And the people are like, well, clearly this one's faster. There's no way they could alter this to make it run that bar load faster than the one on the left. Clearly I'll choose Comcast. Are you fucking kidding me, Comcast? Are you fucking kidding me? If that's what you think of your consumers, burn. You deserve to be out of business. No one should purchase your service if that's what you think. If that's what you think of us for real.
What's scarier is bigger picture. All these streaming services and Sling and everything comes down to the internet connection.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's still only a handful of companies that provide internet connection. And so, no matter what, Comcast can be the dicks and say, well, you know what? Since people aren't watching cable service through us, all the price of internet just doubled,
Exactly.
And what are you going to do about it? Because now we're so reliant on internet that if you don't have those services, what's the alternatives?
Well, that was, I think, with like net neutrality going, that stuff, that was kind of a safeguard that was, was kind of going to keep that kind of bullshit at bay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, not embracing streaming, the major networks really need to, and the fact that, watch our stream, even fucking E! Online tried to provide an Oscars stream, which was complete unwatchable garbage. And it's like, really? It's like the most watched award show in the history of the world. Did you not think anyone was going to log in and try and watch it? To the point where, the stream crashes and things like that. Like, you think you might want to look at the infrastructure and who's going to handle that stream for you to see, hey, if someone logs in, can they watch this, like, actually and enjoy the show instead of choppy, delayed bullshit? It's as you can tell, I'm very frustrated. I'm very frustrated. Well, and it's the Comcast commercial where they're like, "Tell us which one is fast. Which one loads faster."
Comcast sucks.
There's no way they would lie about that.
I hope you live in a place where you don't have to deal with Comcast because you're lucky.
Well, they just came to our area, so they come to my house, on the weekends and knock on the door and try and sell us their crap. And we're just like, no, we have AT&T, and we're quite happy with what we get from AT&T because we can just. And I always ask the salesperson, the door-to-door person, not to be a dick, but I'm always just like, can I just purchase Xfinity at a reasonable price? Well, what you want to do though? What you want to do is you want to bundle that up with a landline and get our basic cable service. I'm like, no, I don't want those two things. Just give me the internet. Because I want Xfinity. Can I just have your internet service at a reasonable price?
I really need the internet, but I also really want a landline phone.
Yeah. Well, you got to use that infrastructure that they've paid all the money to purchase.
Waste of their money.
Yeah, it's bullshit. So, well, I think that about does it for us. Yeah, I think we're all wrapped up. Good note to end on there. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Fuck you, Comcast.
Good job. Yeah, fucking Comcast. Let's see. Be sure to check out planetarbitrary.com for all your Planet Arbitrary needs. Be sure to check out iTunes. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe on all the podcasts on planetarbitrary.com, including Game Classy with Joe and Steve every other week. All things tabletop gaming. They're going to be talking about, I'm sure, the minis auction that just happened. I was supposed to go to that, but I was not able to make it. But be sure all tabletop gaming stuff, all the Kickstarters in tabletop gaming, which there's a zillion of them. Be sure to tune in because they have the summary of all of them, whether or not you should back or not back. It's good stuff. Be sure to check out Stitcher Radio. You can check out all the podcasts on Stitcher. The Flipboard, the Play On Podcast Flipboard, is full of goodies for you to look at. Stuff that we don't just talk about on the show. Stuff that we just find interesting in gaming. You can find on the Play On Podcast Flipboard. Be sure to check out OTCVideogames.com, our sponsor of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I purchased a game from OTC Video Games. I purchased Nestor's Funky Bowling for Virtual Boy.
Lovely.
One of the games I need to complete the catalog. And
Did you use the discount code?
I did use the discount code.
Yeah.
Yep. And the discount code is PLAYON. Mm-hmm. PLAYON. Type in PLAYON at OTCVideogames.com. Receive 5% off your online order. Yes. I used it. It was great. Saved some money. It was awesome. But the game was great. Showed up in great condition. Played right away. Looked great on my Virtual Boy. Had a lot of fun playing it. I tweeted out a picture of my wife playing it. Well, she was trying to have fun with it. She gave it a fair shot. But after
Is
a
it
while,
always red?
It is always red and black.
Yeah, no, I don't like
that. That is your world in Virtual Boy.
I don't like it.
That is your virtual reality.
No.
So yeah, thank you, OTC Video Games. Be sure to check out OTCVideogames.com. Be sure to check out Reddit R Game Collecting. That is a great subreddit of people that collect retro video games. You can post what you find out in the wild at flea markets and local game shops. Lots of good information there. Good resource for all retro video game collectors. So check that out. GameCollecting.net. Our friends at GameCollecting.net. I stress this every podcast now because I've joined their Facebook group. Join their Facebook group. If you are into retro video games, you need to be on GameCollecting.net's gaming group on Facebook. It is amazing. It's extremely active. It's got news, it's got information, and it's got people posting stuff that they're finding. You can also make game deals on there. You can buy stuff directly from other GameCollecting.net members of that group. So far, it's gone very well. I tried to lock up a Neo Geo Pocket lot, but the guy didn't want to part it out. But I looked at it lots. So yeah, GameCollecting.net and C2E2. Be sure to check out C2E2. The Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo coming up next month in April here in Chicago at McCormick Place. We just had a winner of the giveaway.
Yay!
Yep, Anthony Ramirez of Chicago. He is our big winner. He scored himself a free 3-day pass to C2E2. Yes. He'll be able to enjoy the expo all 3 days.
We're gonna follow you around like your shadow.
Yeah, You're
not gonna know what we look like.
You got special little goodies, some stickers, some insert. You got some neat little stuff with this package. We still have 2 passes to give away before the expo. So, and that's actually going to be a bundle deal. So you can win a pair of passes for you and your significant other, or just your friend.
Yeah, just a mate.
Just anybody that you want to take along. Someone that's maybe never been to a convention or an expo.
A Craigslist meetup.
Yeah, Craigslist missed
connection. That's the preferred way to do it. Mm-hmm. A missed connection, yeah. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned to the next few episodes of Play On for your chance to win a pair of 3-day passes, no strings attached.
I can tell you how you can secure yourself a guaranteed win is if you'd like to submit a drawing of what you think the Play On podcast crew looks like.
Oh, Game Classy has done this and it did not go well.
Oh, I can't wait. I would love
do it anyway.
I would love to see some drawings of what you think Pat, Annie, myself, and our little dog Portillo here look like.
You know what's gonna.
I can't guarantee you're gonna win, but I just want to see them.
Yeah, well, it's gonna go in many twisted directions.
Can't wait to see how many bags of Doritos are drawn.
Yeah,
how many cans of Mountain Dew.
How big I look.
Yeah. And Game Classy as well. Be sure to tune into Game Classy because they're giving away a pair of passes as well. So a couple ways to win and score yourself a free entry into the expo.
Big ways.
C2E2.
The best 3 days of your life.
Yeah, the best weekend ever.
Best weekend of the year.
Yeah, so check out C2B2.com for more information or purchase tickets.
Please.
If you're not able to win a pass, you can still purchase a ticket on planetarbitrary.com. So without further ado here, I think that's it, guys.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, play on.
Play on.